Hello, everybody. Burnedoutguy here, and welcome back to Captain of Industry. All right, last episode we got all of this built, all of our basic, beautiful stuff. The only difference is that I moved our little setup that was here to here since there was more room to do so. Added a little bit more storage. The research that we got done in between episodes was the construction, the conveyor belts, the lifts, the water pumps, fuel station, integrated farms. I know it seems like a lot, but these are all things that we're probably going to get into more or less today, anyways, right? So, but these are all things that I've researched. Part of yesterday is the things that I yesterday, the other day when we did the episode, when I queued up a bunch of stuff for research. Here we do have a few things that we have rewards for now. So we'll collect those and then we'll just close that because we're doing our own little thing. That's a good idea to keep this open, or if you're lost and you don't know what to do next, just to kind of, you know, go with that kind of thing. Oh, one of the things they wanted us to do is to go to this here and disable the trucks from being able to pick up or anything from here. And if we do that, that should disable truck import the new. Oh, import. Yes, 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 yes. So you're gonna want to go like this. Bam. They can't import there because the pipes will do it on their own. That was just like a tutorial thing that they wanted you to learn, right? Other than that, yeah. So I started to build the little assemblers that are gonna make our tier two construction parts. Because the tier two construction parts, those are what we're going to need in order to make conveyor belts. And I want to try to get a little bit of a head start in making them. So if I do that right now at the beginning of the episode, we might have a little bit of a chance to get somewhere half decent today without me having to wait an eternity to do so. The next big thing I want to talk about is these little storages here. We got to figure out what we're going to do with the dirt and the rock. Um, I I was thinking for the rock that maybe we'd do some kind of a path going up this way, and then maybe try to branch out onto this island, and then come up here and do the same thing. That's what my initial thoughts were, maybe, because there's a lot of resources on this island. There's one of everything, honestly. So this is like an island we could set up and just pillage out of. Um, there's if we go into photo mode, I think it's F11. Yeah, we can zoom out a little bit farther. Oh, it sucks that it's raining. Yeah, let me come back when it's not raining. All right, so up here you see your map a little bit bigger, and you can like really zoom out, but after a while you kind of don't see much. It gets too foggy. So, but here you get a little idea of what the layout of your map is, and where you want to go and all of this kind of stuff. But there's resources everywhere in here. So really, you could branch out, and but you gotta have to find like dumping areas for your crap, and like especially the dirt and the rock. And I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do. I was thinking maybe we could like expand here maybe a little bit, and then add some more farms along the side of the water here. I think that would maybe look nice as like scenic looks. And then the rock, yeah, we can use to extend here to come and to get here as like a causeway. So I think I might set that up, and then we'll start placing the rock and the stone because where the hell are we? You're gonna see that these are gonna fill up pretty quick, and we're gonna have to get rid of them. So yeah, let me set something up and I'll show you what I mean. We'll start by looking at this one right here. This is the one that I'm going to designate as dirt once it's built. We're going to start off with a little platform like this. I won't do any dumping area or anything in here until like it's fully built, because sometimes they get a little weird and they'll just go and dump anything there, and you're going to start seeing garbage here for no in particular reason. So just don't do nothing until like everything is fully built. Just that's just my suggestion when it comes to these things here. Oh no, go back there. Yeah, so we'll accept that. And then yeah, take off all restrictions and then wait till it gets built. You can play with the size of the area, but don't do anything else other than that. Like, and then that's going to be for that. And then the rock one, like I said, I want to try to do some kind of a causeway coming out here, so we can have trucks and everything coming out here. I think that would be really really awesome. There you go. Actually, that line turned out pretty straight. Good, good, good. Okay, so this is where we're gonna. I don't want it like to be out in front of here. I'd like to kind of like make a some kind of a path here to here, and then kind of go all the way out. Um, and then eventually kind of like locking this in, so that way all the pollution that we're doing here is just going to kind of stay in this little pool of pollution. Maybe. We'll see. We'll try to save the coastal life. Oh god. Anyways, that's pretty much it for now. So I'm gonna let that crap build, and we'll start getting into what I want to get into today. So now that they're both built, we'll do the one for the dumping of the stone for or the dirt first. So we'll say allow dirt and notify me when there's no more place to dump dirt. Now, if go to the terraform, we go dumping, right? Choose the flat mode. How do we start this? All right, let's just go. How far do we want to go? Okay, so that should be fine for the dumping of the dirt. So all the dirt that goes here should be dumped. To guarantee that these stay empty, what we can do is we can just lower these down to 20. Actually 60 for now, because that's just going to keep them too busy if I'm doing that. 60 or 80? Now let's do 80. Let's do 80, just to make sure that the trucks aren't. Okay, we'll start with something like this. I'm in the boundaries over here or whatever, and we might even do something like this, right? Because I said I wanted to keep the. Oh, that's wrong. That is so wrong. That is way better. And then we just want to try to keep that pollution in this little tiny pool, right? If we can ever make it that damn far. This is going to take them a really long time to do. It's not going to happen like tomorrow. That's for damn sure. But it's like an overtime thing. So at least they have somewhere to dump the stone and the rock right now. So we can let that go. In the meantime, I'm going to try to build up a little bit on our construction parts. And when we come back, we'll start designing how we want the rest of the base, because now we're going to try to start automating some of these things so the trucks don't have to deliver the materials to each one of these little buildings. That's what we're going to try to avoid right now. Hey, why are you dumping that over there? I said just rock. What? Are you all on a crack? Like, does that look like rock? Why are you dumping dirt over here? Guys, that's not where I designated dirt to dump. Are you all like, that's weird. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just a little bizarre. I said stone here, but now they're gonna bring over no. And now, see, this is it. See, this is what I was talking about. There's something really fishy about these stupid things. Okay, let's try this again. I just did stone on that one. That's the only one I did. I didn't do anything else. Didn't tell them to dump anything else other than stone so far. Everything seems okay. Perfect. Now this one is done. Now we can set up the area. All right, so I edited the area for the this one here. It's a pretty big area. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, they love me and they're not gonna dump all kinds of other crap over here. So far, it doesn't seem like they dumped anything over here so far. Not much rock has been generated, I guess. But let's see what's gonna happen with the dirt. Okay, I think we're gonna be fine because that looks like all dirt being dumped here. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. All right. All right. All right. And that too looks like just dirt. So I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. This is good. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to let that build out now that we're dumping the right stuff in the right spots. I don't know what the hell happened there before, but now we're going to start setting up a little bit of an area to start getting where the copper is going to start to go. The copper is just down here, so eventually we're going to start mining that and start hauling this up here. We're starting to get a little bit of place, so I'm going to start setting up things where they need to go in my visual brain of how I think this should go. But yes, this is what we're going to do next. We're going to start getting the copper set up. And then once I get this little bit of woods left done, I'm going to start getting them to clear out down here. So that way we can start setting up our production. I think that's going good. Probably going to have to set up a few more of these so that way they can keep chopping down some wood, but the wood wouldn't isn't going to go to waste, that's for sure. It's either all going to get burnt or we're going to pass it on a production line there to make bricks. Because I think, don't you need that crap to make bricks? Oh, that's there. Oh no, it's coal. Oh, it's the construction parts. Yeah, construction parts. You need logs for these things. Doo-doo. So yeah, that's where we're going to be passing most of the logs is through the production of making construction parts. So yeah, no worries. I probably set up another little storage system temporarily on the side here, and then later on we could feed them into that or something like that, right? So I had to fix another problem I forgot to deal with earlier today too. Is slag is going to be an issue. So this right here is going to be our dumping point for slag. So this side is garbage, and this side is going to be slag. So we should have a couple of trucks coming down here, and they're going to start another pile of crap here, and that's going to be similar to garbage, except this is the scrap from metal, right? That we're bringing in here. I was wondering why this wasn't producing anymore, and I'm like, oh yeah, scrap the slag. But now we're good. Now we're good. Hey there. Now they're gonna start dumping that over here. Perfect. Well, not really, but perfect. Okay, so it looks like we got a bunch of rewards here to collect, so we may as well just collect them. Show you all what's in the rewards there. That's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All beginner game stuff, but that's all stuff that we need to rock it along with, right? So, all right, so go and redo all the stuff that I had before. So one of the things we're going to do while we wait for them to clear out this wood here is we've unlocked one of the new technologies to alternate our foods, right? So that way we have different things going on. So here we're going to green manure. I don't have green manure. We're going to do vegetables here, and taters, vegetables, and taters. So we're going to rotate our crops so that way it's better for our soil fertility, I believe. We're going to do something like that. Is that what they're doing now? Or are they finishing the taters? Anyways, he's got taters. And we'll just do the opposite, right? That way we rotate our crops and we're going to give them a different thing to have in the food market here. So that way they'll also bring up probably their health a little bit. We're introducing a new type of vegetable or a new food into their life. So hopefully it's good. But everything seems to be going hunky dory so far. We're gaining on parts and stuff like that, which is good because we're gonna need a lot of these. I'm just mainly waiting for them to finish clearing up this area so we can start progressing in making our production line, which is kind of our next goal. I also went ahead and set up the copper area down here, so that way we can start filling up the copper at the main base, and that way when we start doing copper, well, we have copper at our disposal, and this guy will be done cleaning up all the rock and all that stuff there in the whole area that I gave him. So it'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good. We'll be ready to go by that time. That way, you see here that we're starting to fill up on some rock and stone, and there is a little bit of copper in there, but not much, right? Now that things are starting to get cleared up here, we can kind of start to plan things out a little bit. Also, that move that we did was really helpful too, because now our food is up to 27. Our health is up to 27, and the food is up to almost 90. So that's really good. So now one of the things what we're gonna do is if you hit B or you go down to here, there, you can hit this button. You're gonna go into planning mode, and what this does is you can build stuff, and they won't deliver parts to it right away. They're gonna just keep doing their little thing there. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by making a system where we have this exact thing here. So if we go copy it, which is part of the research that we did earlier was a copy and paste thing, right? So let's see here. I want at least. Okay, so I think what we got here is pretty good. We're gonna have 4 for iron, and I believe there's steel as well that we have to make. So we're gonna put 2 for steel. And then we're gonna have our little copper line. I think all you need is about 2, pretty much, right? And I think we'll be good with that. So the copper is a little bit different from the iron, where it has to go through an extra process where we have to electrify it, I guess. And yeah, so that's a thing. The input is there, the water is there, so that's fine. Should we? Can you do something like that? I think that would be better, right? So the plates and water are there. Then technically the plates could just come out of there, go directly down. I leave room for water. Okay, I like that. Then we'll flip that like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I like that setup. That's good. That's good. Then we can copy that. This is what's so practical about this copy paste. I love it. And then you could just line your crap up again. Oops. And voila. And we have symmetry. It's beautiful. Okay, now so the only thing we'll have to worry about is feeding that water and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Slow but surely. Slow but surely. I did pause that, and I'm not sure why. That big thumb of mine hitting the space bar all the time, I guess. Okay, so now that's that. Now all these are gonna have an exit. So let's look at conveyor belts. Conveyor belts are really cool. They come in different fashions. So we get the flat, the U-shaped, the molten, and then the pipe. With these two, we've already seen before. The U-shape is for moving products such as like your material from here to an open storage such as this, a loose storage. And then your flat materials are for materials in the list above here, like wood and steel and all that crap. And here's a list of your other materials that you can use for the open U-shaped belt. So that's pretty cool. I like how they had the recipes like that. It's pretty nice to see that. So I think the first thing we should concentrate maybe on, well, since these are just all blueprints that I'm doing right now, I could just put these in and it'll be fine. Okay, so this is the idea for like the iron and steel. They're gonna come along this way and down onto our bus, and we'll pull off whenever we need it to go into some kind of like production chain or whatever, right? All right, so now I'm gonna do the same thing here with the copper, and we're gonna start bringing that over to get that into a production line as well. What's really fun about these blueprints is you can select like certain parts of these at a time to get reconstructed, so you don't have to do the whole thing all in one shot. So I could just bring one section of these machines online at a time as we need them in a way, right? Instead of just doing them all in one shot, which is really, really nice. It's just future planning, right? You can do and lay it all out and bring it online as you need it. So I really like that idea. Pretty cool. That's what it was. That was my fault. It was me that caused this problem. Of course, it was me. Oh God. So I think something that we're gonna build here right now is a fuel station. I think this will be a little bit helpful for us. Okay, so I think the first thing we should do is start planning out the construction parts, right? So we go to our construction our stuff here. We have two assemblers right now. We have the first one and the second one. So this one requires maintenance. This one does not. That's not a pretty hard choice to make. We're going to go with the non-maintenance one at the moment. So we're going to try to leave ourselves some space so that way our trucks and vehicles can come in and do their little thing, because if they don't, you can get screwed pretty easily. How much room do we got here? We got quite a bit of room. I'm going to start with the halfway mark to here, I think. Actually, I'm going to start here because we're going to be putting items back onto the belt, right? Yeah. Maybe that right here would be half decent. Okay. Well, that's what we're going to do. So this one here, like I said, we're going to start with the construction parts. Okay. This is going to require iron, the wood, and concrete slabs. Now we can copy that. Alt C is the copy. So I can copy it again. And I think I'm just going to do 5. We're going to do 5 of each on all of our things. I think that should be fine. I think so. So now once these guys are done, we're going to reset up the brick and um, forestry, all that kind of crap. Anyways, you'll see. We'll reset all that up so we can get wood and all that crap into here, because we're gonna need wood and bricks. So here somewhere, like the wood and the bricks will come onto the production line, and we'll join them into these things over here. So if we look at these flat conveyor lifts, we're going to use these right now, and these are actually really cool. I like them a lot. I find them very versatile. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip them around so that way the red input is at the bottom and the green arrow is going to be at the top, right? And then that way they can fit in to here. So doesn't matter what order all this comes in. I think we'll start here. That'll be the first one. Oh, E to go up. There we go. Now we want this on the second level. I think that would be good. Then we can copy that one over to all of these. There we go. And we have all 3 items coming in, and we're gonna have this kind of like a little bit of a stairway effect on all of these. I think it's gonna look really nice. And then when all the items are done, well, we'll have them come out into a storage. All right, so that's construction pieces automated. That's really, really, really good. Okay, so what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna start with bringing some of these things online a little bit at a time, and then hopefully getting all of this constructed. That's gonna be kind of my goal. That'd be nice. So we're gonna try that now. So I believe if you use this tool, we can like highlight things and say we want this to get constructed, right? There. And then that'll all get constructed. That's pretty neat. So as I'm constructing this whole thing, I gotta remember to deal with slag. So I started putting the slag outputs here. We're also gonna have a coal input that I'm gonna have somewhere localized. That's gonna feed coal to all of these instead of having trucks deliver coal to each one of these things. But we're gonna do a little bit at a time, so that way vehicles aren't getting stuck in here and all that kind of crap. So while waiting for all this to build there, I've also added another place for our people to live. I've added a water pump and hooked up some water so we can start making some copper. I copied over the wood over here down to here, so this is where this is gonna go after a while, and that's what's gonna feed the wood for the production line. And then up here we've made a bunch of quests completed, so we're gonna go and collect all the rewards that are in here, and those will help us uh, finish off the rest of our build down here. Especially with all those second construction pieces there, that's gonna be great. It's gonna help with all the conveyor belts and stuff. So that's really really lovely. Also built a few more trucks to help. So things are getting there, and we're getting there slowly. So let's start planning out the next phase of what we're gonna need here. So we got the iron going to here. We're gonna have wood going to here, and then after that, we just need to do the bricks, right? So the bricks are kind of set up here for the moment, and it works, right? But it's just too far away for where I want it to be, right? So let's go and bring it down with the rest of the stuff here. Make it part of the family, you know what I mean? So actually, that's not the one I wanted to copy. I think it's this one here we should copy, right? Yeah, we're going to copy that one. That is the better one. We just have to change the outputs, and we're also going to make this a plan, so that way we're not building it right away. We'll build it afterwards. Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make some brick factories here. So we're going to start with four. I think four should be pretty good in my opinion. Then we should be able to take some flat conveyors. All right, so I think something like this should be fine. So we'll have all of our stuff being processed here. We'll have our bricks being made, and we'll have them join our production line over there. That's going to be just beautiful. Now all we have to do is fix up with the management of the limestone and the coal that has to be distributed to here as well. There we go. So far, that's limestone and water, and it looks like the trucks are going to still be able to get underneath that, so that's very nice. There we go, and we'll have coal delivered here like this, and that will go over top of each inside. So I think that's a pretty decent little setup. That should help us quite a bit furnish when it comes to making bricks. I don't think we're gonna need too much more than that. Well, we'll see. So as soon as this looks like it's almost done, we'll begin to dismantle the stuff that's up here, and we'll add the parts to down here. So there'll be extra components that we can get rid of, right? I don't know why you're not making bricks anymore. There's lots of stuff here. Guys might be just really busy. That's probably all it is, really. That's fine. We'll just keep on trucking, and we'll do our thing. These guys, are you guys all done your forestry stuff? They are. Now that all that is built, that took a little bit of time to get done. The last thing we have left to do is to get our brick set up here, our automated brick set up, part of the production line, right? So, this I had to restart back up because we were getting low on bricks again. So I think what I'll do is I'll just I'll unpause it and we'll start building this thing here. Then I'll delete all of that afterwards. I guess I'm gonna have no choice. I'd like to delete it beforehand and like use the pieces over here, but I'm afraid I'm gonna screw myself and I won't have enough things. Like they'll go and they'll use it for other things. You know what I mean? Like they're just so smart like that. I also built the third tree harvester. That way we can start getting through this wood a lot faster too. It's something I did earlier when I moved the wood from up here to down here. I also got a tree harvester. That's gonna really help with keeping these things all topped off and the coal up and running because I don't want to get into the coal right here because there's first of all there's not a lot of it, and second of all, well, there's lots of trees. And I don't know what else to do with the wood because you're not gonna use well, you're gonna use a lot of construction parts, but I'm just saying you're gonna have a lot more wood to construction parts, let me just say. That's for sure. Wow, this is beautiful. Looks like we're pretty much well self-sufficient now over here. I'm absolutely loving it. This sucks. I had to build a stupid tank here because there was just like a measly amount of water in there that I wouldn't want to get rid of, so I had to build a tank just to get rid. Ah, just so sad. Yeah, anyways, I could probably delete this now, but now will it let me delete it? Yeah, look at that. Uh, this game. All right. So now, with all that being done, now we're making these all automatically, the construction parts, okay? Now we got no fear. We should be able to come up here and we should be able to delete this right here, okay? Because now that's automated. This is like section 1 most important done. All right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm liking that. So that's where we're going to leave today's episode. We were pretty damn productive once again. We did quite a bit today. We got ourselves self sufficient on the bricks, and now we're making construction parts, and we got all the smelteries ahead of time. I think this is going to change in the future. If I'm not mistaken, there's like a part that we have to add on just like that on here. So this might change for the steel later on. I was checking ahead there. So if you go and you look at the steel is way over here, man. And you see they kind of have like these same old things that we have with steel. I don't know if that's kind of like what we're gonna have to set up here, or if we're gonna have to push them back. Don't know. We're gonna find out when we get there, right? And if it doesn't work out here, well, then we'll do something up here and we'll send steel on the outside of the line, right? As to oppose of in here, or we'll have it jump over or something. We'll manage, right? We're smart peoples. So, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. Like, subscribe, peace, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.